What's up, YouTube family? It's your girl Tony Blake from Tony Blake Projects, your cultural and travel expert. Today we're going to talk about how to apply for this thing right here, a U.S. passport.
Ryan Little.
I'm just going to give you some simple tips and walk you through the process. First of all, the only way you can apply for this blue book, you must be a U.S. citizen. Two kinds of applications and where you can obtain your application. So obviously we're in a day and age where you can obtain your applications online, but I'm old school, y'all. I like to go to the post office. Yes, your local post office to get an passport application, or city hall. Just be careful, and I notice a lot of states, the post office, they now designate certain branches as passport services. Some of them, even though they don't offer passport services, you can still pick up an application. Here's a tip that I do. I get more than one form because I'm always making a boo-boo. I've done this several times, but I'm always making a mistake. So I have a generic one that I just follow time and time. Now for myself, I fill out passport applications more often than your average person. First, make sure you're getting the correct form or printing off the right application. So, first-time users and renewals. It's two different colors, all right? So very important. If it's your first time obtaining a U.S. passport, you have to fill out a particular form, and if you're renewing, you have to fill out a particular form. For those of you that do not know, U.S. passports last for 10 years. I will say, if you are applying for a child, their passport only lasts for 5 years. And if you don't know, you need both parents' permission to obtain a passport for that child. If the other parent is absent, that is quite okay. You do need proper documentation to submit. So whether it's a notarized letter from the other parent giving you permission, or proof that they are deceased or adopted, whatever the case may be. If they're incarcerated, you still need to get a notarized letter. So those are things you need to look into if you're applying for a child with an absent parent. So let's talk about the different kinds of passports. This is what inside the form looks like. It tells you which one you're applying for. Are you applying for a U.S. book, which is your traditional book? Are you applying for a U.S. card, or both? Okay, you have to choose one of those. I didn't know what a card was until it was my daughter's Sweet 16 and we were going on a cruise, and invited her friends, and the young lady's mom applied for a card instead. So it was literally just a card, and I just think it was valid for like cruises and things like that, because the following year we were going to Jamaica and the card couldn't work. I don't really know the purpose of the card, to be honest. Cost-wise, the passport is $110. The card, I believe, is $30. You're just gonna fill out the forms, guys. It's pretty self-explanatory. Your name, your address, contact information, and very important, you need to have passport photos. I still rely on your good old Walgreens, and if you guys watch my old videos, you know that I have an abundance of these because of visa purposes. I just keep a lot of them. So good old passport photos, and I just go with Walgreens because they know what the requirements are. The prices have gone up. They're now $14.99, but sometimes you can catch it on a coupon, and you will affix the staple, the photos inside there. Again, very self-explanatory, guys. There is a difference between a regular book and a standard book. I've been a little frugal. I have to stop this. And getting a regular book. So I typically have to get a passport because I travel so much every 2 to 3 years. Lucky for me, Now, the job that I have, my company covers it. We get reimbursed for it because we are required to have a passport. However, this is my first time, so I have 2 visa pages left and like 8 years left on the passport, but I am going to apply for a large book this time, and so I have to look what's the difference in cost. So that is something that you do have to check off in here. I don't know how true this is, someone was telling me that if you have never really frequently traveled, you don't qualify. Okay, so actually it does say it. No, the large book option is for those who frequent travel abroad during the passport validity period, and is recommended for applicants who have previously required the addition of visa pages. So that would be me. So yeah, that was on this form. Actually it's on the new form too. All right, so what else do I need to tell you guys? So after you fill this form out, you can drop it off yourself, guys, at your local city hall or your local post office, or you can actually make an appointment. I know a couple of my coworkers, they go to Atlanta and do that same day service. Due to COVID, that's been kind of iffy. But for me, I do standard. I never do expedited. Before COVID, it was just so fast. The process, they'll tell you 4 to 6 weeks or 3 to 6 weeks, and you'll literally have your passport in no time. I mail mine in regularly and just wait for it. I just have to notify my company now, and so I don't get any international trips to work. Even though it's paid for me, it's not a big deal. I can wait. But if you're in a rush or whatever, I know there's a thing online now that they're reimbursing people for expedited, because a lot of people paid for expedited and did not get it during that time. And I believe expedited is like $60, y'all. So again, I encourage you to do it yourself. Drop it in the mail. Just know that it comes separately, especially if you're renewing. You'll get your birth certificate back in a separate envelope as your passport, so don't panic. Okay, so there are documents that you do have to mail as well. The originals, yes. All right, we went over pricing, right? $110 for 10 years. If you paid for expedited, I think it's an additional $60. I did not look how much the larger book is. I will do that as well. And passport photos, you can get them anywhere. If you do decide to go to your city hall, they can take care of all that for you. But again, their fees are a lot more. So whatever you can do on your own, do it on your own. All right, again, 2 separate forms, 2 different applications, first time and renewals. Okay, make sure you're filling out the correct form, and make sure you have the original documents to send along with your application. I know the first time I did it, it was a little scary. And it will tell you where not to write, your high emergency contact, marriage. If you're married and you've changed your name from what's on your birth certificate, you do have to send in proof of that as well, like a marriage certificate or license or whatever. Or where are you mailing it? Different states have different regions to mail it. So if you live in California, Florida, Illinois, Minnesota, New York, or Texas, your passport processing center is in Texas. If you live in any other state in Canada, your passport processing is in Philadelphia. You mail it there. If it's expedited, you're mailing it to Philadelphia as well, but a different PO box. All right, so again, very easy, very self-explanatory. If you have any questions about obtaining a passport, don't hesitate. You know what to do. Drop the questions in the comments below. Trust me, if you have questions, I'm sure other people do as well. So hope you guys get started and you are ready to travel and being safe. All right, see you guys in the next video.